Oh, it's basically the same as last year.
Chipper.
You want to be secretary?
Whatever.
Dragon tree.
How have you been?
Fine, yeah.
Dragon tree.
If I don't get this done and it snows, I'm gonna be ticked off, because I bought a snow blower attachment for this thing, and it's sitting in pieces. It's mighty irritable if it gets a pile of snow sitting in the tractor in the garage and parts.
All I want to do is get the damn thing done.
Let's rub it.
Be out of the way.
So,
For this.
so you wouldn't be able to be able to put us computers. Yes, yeah. Well, she wants to do this, I can write a little bit. Well, I did say that to her, I said, honey, if you think chickens used to have dead. Listen,
It's all public in here anyway.
you said.
You know, I've heard that does happen in some townships.
I'm gonna bring myself once the meeting starts. At the moment, I don't think I'll ever get to
That's good.
She wants to order that piece that we talked about for our anniversary. He said, well, a bowl and put it. Kenny knows, Kenny knows. Well, you know, I looked at that picture that we're hanging up in that. And I want something on that table.
So should I be using my stone or this is my point.
Yeah, there's something in the shop that looks really like it's studio or live. Well, we want to go with the land. No. He was like, let's. It doesn't.
I gotta go get
Well,
my
like,
cold stove.
well, he said, I want to go up and
Freezing
that. I guess they won't be there Tuesday.
Run down to the basement and keep it up in this cold weather.
And so
Hey, Jim.
I can generally, I can go.
I heat the whole house with cold. I heat the barn with cold. Heat was in the house. Cheap.
What do you speak on?
I use replace in the automatic stokers. I got an automatic stoker in the basement, an automatic stoker down the barn. And I use the rice for that. But the stove in the living room is more of a, sits in the fireplace up there. That burns it up. Shovel that in by hand. Normally, during the course of the winter, I burn a month. You know, a week here, a week there. Usually burn about a month's worth in the living room, all totaled. August, December, just wipe it out, I'm done. Just went for a month solid without shutting the damn thing off. Because it was so flipping cold, it never got warm.
This is my concern. I
And I was hoping that this little break in the weather, but I woke up this morning, it's freaking 19 degrees outside. It was only supposed to be down to like 28. I don't know what the forecast was all.
The oil man just came by yesterday, went out.
I see this as an issue.
Yeah.
300 gallons. I'm sorry, 300 gallons. It's 305, so I use $1,000.
Well, if things continue the way they are, I'll probably be close to $400 this year. If not, maybe 5. If it really gets
I'd
bad.
be happy
You know,
for
my-
I'm
2,000.
not trying to be a problem, but.
That's why I first called. It's cheap.
I'm not doing this too. Guys, give me money.
And,
Automatic stoker up there.
local article.
This place, Huntington, just,
I got one for sale. Small one. I got a 45,000 BTU unit, it's a small unit.
Well, I have a problem too.
It's ready to go out the door. Paint job on it, it's done. All the parts on it are all fixed up.
I don't consider
you gotta modify a snowball?
Well, the snow blower's stock. What I've done is I've taken the engine out of the tractor and shit came dead. It's a 14 horse Kohler engine.
There
On the case, old mid-70s case. And it's got the
Okay, yeah, but
hydraulic
you're not-
drive,
they
not
have
the
not
hydrostatic,
yet
the
in-
hydraulic drive, which is driving on the back of the motor, there's a pump. And there's a control
So
valve
what's
that
the
just
idea?
goes to a hydraulic motor that's hooked up to a gear train
Nothing was settled last year.
differential,
Was
which is a
gonna be
great
retro-
system. But the engine's a piece of junk, so I took that out, I got a 2-cylinder Kubota diesel that I'm putting in.
Because as
And
far as,
a
you
much
know,
bigger
my
pump.
feelings is he's not an office worker.
And then I
He's
got a
part-time.
second differential
And
and axle
he is
assembly.
not- He's part of the road crew.
And I'll put it on a trailer wall. And I've got flexible lines already rigged in. When you plug those in, then it's 4-wheel drive.
You know?
Well, could you put it past that it's
Looks like a German staff car.
proof, see if it's a similar percentage or?
I figure I'll put a 100-pound block of cement on the back of that axle back there, and it'll go wherever it wants to then, because it'll be all articulated.
He's, you know, he's part-time, he's not office, he's not here, he's not here 8 hours.
Yeah, it puts out about 18
I have
horsepower.
I love him dearly, and
Got a 3-cylinder in my grasshopper.
okay.
Yeah, those put out more than 25 or about. Yeah. They didn't have room. I'd love to have had a 3-cylinder, but there's just no room. It's a fairly small unit.
Okay.
The engine or the, I got it through rebuilt, redone.
Excuse my manners, I'm Polish, you'll have to excuse me. Okay, before we start the meeting, there's something that has to be said, and Jim would like to speak to. It's basically addressing it to Kenny, but it's for everybody's use. My guess.
It seems to me that I have a potential conflict of interest tonight when it comes to voting for Ken's salary, because I am pursuing TDRs through the township for the Open Space Committee, which Ken is a member of, and now I'm a member of this committee. So when it comes to the issue of voting for the salary increase for Roadmaster, I will be abstaining from that particular vote. So I just feel like otherwise it may cause a conflict that would be badly perceived for the township if it ever becomes an issue.
So my experience has been, or my, I guess, what I've been told is, if you think there's a conflict, there's a conflict, so.
I don't personally have an issue with it, but I think.
Yeah, I understand exactly
All
what you're
things
saying.
considered, it could become something down the road to other people,
You might see it in Chester County info email.
you know. So, at least on that issue, I will be abstaining
Okay.
from the vote, so.
Any problems, questions with that? Comments? Nothing? Okay. Meeting is started. Okay. First thing on the agenda is elect a chairman. I have been a chairman in the past. I don't know if...
I propose Ronnie Monteith to be reelected as chairman.
Okay. Elect the secretary. Since you're abstaining, you have no
Well,
problem?
no, I'm abstaining from just.
Oh, just
Ken,
voting,
that
okay.
vote.
Secretary?
No, I'd be happy to nominate Barbara for that job.
Guess what, Barbara? Duly noted, Barbara's the secretary. Old business,
Approved minutes.
be with you in a moment. I've had a 10-hour day, it's been long. Okay, the minutes from last year, basically, we had, the salary was set for the supervisor for Roadmaster at $24,865. Benefits at that time was $16,428, totaling $41,293. And hourly rates for the supervisors, when they were working on the road, it would be $21.74. Hourly rate for supervisor working as a laborer was $20.70. Rental with the chainsaw was $12. Okay, last year's personal use for the gas was 50 cents a mile. It's gone up to 51 cents, which is ha-ha with the price of gas and diesel fuel. I cannot say that. But anyway, any questions, comments in regards to that? Nothing?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve it?
This was for last year.
This is last year.
Yes. Motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, so that's taken care of. Now, new business. Okay, I would say, I guess the first thing on the agenda basically would be, well, I'm going to leave the salary to last. I apologize. Hourly rate for supervisors when working as a supervisor. We did raise it last year. No, stayed the same. It stayed the same last year? And the year before? Okay. I know Ken doesn't keep record of it, and you're the only one that's going to go outside. I can't see Zoe or Clara Quinn with the chainsaw clearing the road, but anyway. Just leave it at 2174, or do we want to raise that?
Ronnie, do you know when those rates were set over the years? Have they been that way for as long as you can remember?
I've been an auditor for, it's funny, this is a horrible thing to say. I was born in Germany, and when I became a citizen, I started being an auditor, working the elections and everything else. So I've been doing, I basically did the books and everything else with Luann McCoy and Anna Mayhow. And then we had George, I can't think of his name, Boswell. I worked for about 10 years, and they've always been set that way, and basically Luann is the one that always took care of it. So she is basically, I don't know why, but she was the one that always said it. So it's been done this year. I've been doing it for at least 10 years myself. Right. And I've only been doing it, Luann's been gone for just a couple of years now, but she completely dropped out of everything. I don't know why, but she did. I guess I've just been doing this for the last, I would say, 3 years.
They've been set like that probably for as long as you can.
Probably is, Luann was an auditor for what, about 20, pretty close to 20 years, Kenny?
I don't know, a long time.
Yeah, it was a long one, and she was great. And believe it or not, we used to come every single day or 3 times a week. We used to sit at this table, well, excuse me, the township down there, and then here. We used to come, I think it was 3 days a week, and we used to work from 9 to 3 with the break in the middle, and we did everything that actually the auditors did. Pull the files, check checkbooks, lock, stock, and barrel. We did all that, and there was a packet of like about 30 sheets of paper that had to be filled out and approved. And then had to be done by March 15th and sent out to Harrisburg, and then the others, you know, was sent out later. But it's been done as long as I can ever remember. So do we want to increase the hourly rates, or what do you think, Laura? Jim, or anybody else?
Has there been a suggested increase from the township on this, Jen?
They always leave it for us to do, basically.
So it's been at least 2 years?
2 years, yes. Want to put it up to 23? 22, what?
Could round it up to 22.
22, okay.
This is for supervisors.
Yes,
Okay.
22.
Well, if nobody's ever, I'm just wanting
Go
to
ahead.
make a comment, if nobody's ever put hours, additional hours in,
As I said,
I don't know that there's really a need to increase the hourly rate.
it's just a figure, and as I said, the only person that would go out would be your husband, and he's a roadmaster, and he gets paid salary that way. If he wanted it to put figures in, he could do it. He is entitled to it, but he never has. And
Well,
it's just something. As I said, if we had another male, I'm not being female male type thing, but would you like to go out with 10 inches of snow and go in the back of a truck and shovel salt? No, I as a woman, if I had to, I would, but I wouldn't. As I said, Kenny's basically the only one that would do it. It's the way
Well, then why don't we leave it to ride for this year at that?
just leave it at the
And we'll
2174.
make a note in the minutes to review it next year.
Okay. Okay, the hourly rate for supervisor working as a laborer on the road. I have 2070. Leave that as is and do the same. Okay. If there's any questions or comments from the audience, please speak up or forever hold your peace. The rental of a personal chainsaw is $12. That, I hate to say it, it doesn't sound like enough with the cost of diesel fuel going up to $3.50 a gallon. What do you feel?
Well, I mean, you're not going through a gallon of diesel
No,
an hour.
No, but just leave it be or increase?
Yeah, I would leave that.
Leave it be?
Frankly, I
Okay.
think it's on the high side,
Okay.
but let it run.
Okay, the compensation for the use of the personal vehicle is set by the state, and it was 50 last year. The state says you get 51 cents a mile. So that's nothing we can do about. Okay, any other business raised for Kenny Miller? It's the last thing on the agenda. I apologize for putting it off, but, okay, I got a note from Tammy, which I get every single year, and she informed me that the office workers all got a 2% raise. Okay, my feelings is, and if anybody has any suggestions or disagree with me, I feel as if Kenny Miller basically works with the road crew, and they're not getting a raise as of yet. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't think anything should be put through. I guess, you know, Kenny does get a very good package for insurance. I wish to God I had it, Kenny, thank you. But I don't. Nothing's been done with the insurance because they're looking into
Hey,
it.
I didn't ask for a raise.
I'm not saying
I
this
don't want
for
a
a
raise.
raise. I didn't say anything, Kenny.
So Barry has it on his tape. I want to make sure it's on.
I know you're not, but I'm quite sure the raise is going to go up for insurance because you have to. Our insurance went up $400 or $500 just a month, and we lost everything's gone down. So I think that is probably retroactive to drop it. Plus, none of the public works or the people that work for Chester County, the health department, everything's been put on for 2 years. So next year they'll probably drop it and everybody else. So as far as I'm concerned, I would like to leave everything as is. So I vote no raise. You're
I
not
have to
going.
abstain on this one.
And
And I
Barb?
shouldn't be
Well, it's
discussing.
gonna be a wash, because I would propose that he get the 2% increase in raise, which would compensate for that. We're leaving the $21.74, which we said was low, the $20.70, which we said was low, and we know he never puts in anything
Well, that
for
would
the
be-
hourly raise.
I'd like to suggest, I'm not, since I'm abstaining, I'm just going to make a suggestion. We were discussing with Jim about making raise conditional on the rest of the road crew.
Yeah, with that, it's another
So-
thing, to see if they get a raise.
Same percentage.
Go ahead.
I would suggest that you leave the compensation as it was last year. I would suggest that's.
Leave the salary as is.
Salary and his compensation, which is whether it's the insurance
That's-
benefit or the salary.
As I said, the
As last
insurance
year.
is going to go up. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry to say, with Obama, everybody thought he
I
was.
think everybody is aware.
With
of the
Obama,
cost.
everybody thought he was wonderful, and the insurance is going downhill. I mean, nobody, as I said, our insurance went up roughly $500. Everything has changed, you know, for the package deal, for medications and everything else. You don't get anything for $10, it's $20. The high things are $40, and I couldn't even go to the hospital Monday when I fell 2 weeks ago because we couldn't afford the emergency. Not that I don't want pity from anybody else, but as far as I'm concerned, I think it should be left be, really.
Excuse me.
Yes,
This is a part-time job, correct?
yes, it is a part-time job.
Why are we paying medical benefits for someone for a part-time job?
Because
Virtually unheard of in the
the
private
hours for part-time job, if you work more than 20 hours a week, which Kenny does, and that is in the policy for the township, if you work more than 20 hours a week, you are entitled to medical insurance.
Everywhere else, federal standard, 30 hours. Just want to put that in
This-
there.
I know, but the township has 20. That is their policy.
As a taxpayer, I find this to be out of line.
Well, as a taxpayer with the taxes going up, I don't like it either, but,
There we are.
you know,
Here's an opportunity to do something about it.
we have nothing to do with the insurance. This is something that is set by the township itself, right? This is the ruling for benefits.
Well, as a supervisor, he's also entitled to.
That's what I mean.
So,
So-
I mean, you can decide, if you were to decide there are no medical benefits, you would still get medical benefits.
Yeah, as I said, you
As a
know,
supervisor. So, but you're
Yeah.
correct in terms of your interpretation of the
it's 20 hours or more.
That's correct.
So he's entitled to it. And when we originally, Luann McCoy, as I said, was an auditor for over 20 years. And when we originally started, Kenny never did get paid. And Luann had mentioned to Kenny, look, This isn't fair. Fine, Proctor did it for how many years and never got paid, but he didn't want it. Kenny took over and did it, and was appointed and everything else. And we asked Kenny at the time if he would keep record of the hours, and we would pay him X amount of dollars to work per week. Right, Kenny? This was a good number of years ago. This was a good number of years ago. And Kenny had said to us, look at Ronnie, I'm running a farm, I got a business there, I cannot keep track of what I do. If somebody gets on the phone and says, hey, you, get over here, he says, I got to drop everything, and he says, I don't keep record of what I do. So what we did was, and he agreed with us, we did salary. And Luann did all the paperwork with the salary and said, look it, we'll just pay you X amount, figuring 20 hours a week, and then work, and from there we worked with the raises for his salary. And this is the way this was set.
Back in the good old day, everybody used to do things on the cuff. That's how things work.
Yes, I know,
It's
but
time we move into the 21st century here and put ourselves into the rest of the alignment with the rest of the country.
yes, and that's why
Right now, everybody's taking a beating with their own insurance,
tell me about
their
it.
mortgage payments, the lack of raises, the getting laid off scene.
Well,
I find it
that's-
to be out of line at this juncture.
Well, that's
I'm saying,
one reason.
And I'm not the only person that feels that way.
Yeah, well, that's one reason I thought about the raise too.
I find it out of line that anyone in the township got a raise. No one in the county got a raise, and no one in the state got a raise.
I
So,
know.
you know, let's see what's going on. We have all this unfunded liability in this country. If we don't get it under control, we're gonna have a serious problem on our hands.
Okay, well, as I said, salary is salary as it is. He is entitled to benefits for insurance. I can say, no, you don't have it, he's gonna get it anyway, and what's the use, you know, that is the way it is done. You know, he's working listed as 20 hours a week part-time, so he is entitled to insurance. And that's been that way ever since he's, you know.
On one hand, we say we don't keep track of any hours, and then we say we got 20 hours. Which one is it?
Well, we listed it, what we did was back, I want to say 15 years ago.
My point is, it's time to start to have serious accountability.
I know.
There
but
is
we
serious
said-
accountability, Mr. Helwig.
Really? I've just heard 2 stories here. We don't keep track of hours, but yet we work 20 hours.
What
If
we
we don't
did,
keep track, then we can't say how many we did.
okay, what we
Can't have it both
did,
ways.
what we did was we just said 20 hours a week, and by that, we set a salary, say maybe X amount of dollars for 20 hours. And from there, that's how we've increased the salary. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ken.
Got nothing to say.
Oh, I thought you raised your hand.
Embarrassed camera finger.
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. I thought
I missed it, hold on, let me,
No, Barry.
okay.
You know what,
Yeah,
Barry?
there you go.
You got your camera here, you got your rights. Go ahead and do your meeting.
Okay. Go ahead. Voting, as I said, I
Keep the
say
package the same as it was
leave
for
everything the
last
way it
year.
is. Kenny?
You guys vote, you're big boys, you can do it, big girls.
Thank you.
We need
Yes.
to vote these on separate items because I'm going to abstain from one on it. So,
Well,
we've approved all the others? We're approved all
we
the
have,
other ones.
all the
Okay.
other ones are approved,
And
okay.
the salary stays the same.
The salary stays the same. I say it stays the same. Barbara agrees, so, as is. So that leaves that, okay?
That's 24,864.
Yeah, and as I said, we don't know what the story is yet with the insurance. Evidently, they're looking into it to see what the story is, to see if they can get a better deal. And I hope they do, really, for their own sake, really, because insurance is crazy. Okay, any other questions, comments? Anybody want to say anything? Anybody want to yell at me? Anybody want to smile at me? Go ahead, Art.
That just means that Ken will still get his medical benefits, right?
Yes.
In other words, if it goes up, he still gets them, right?
Okay, whatever
Fine,
they
okay.
have decided as a package.
Okay, because the salary's set, the medical
salary set,
benefits
the
are
medical
not.
benefits,
Okay.
whatever.
All right.
As I said, basically, as far as I was always concerned, I as an auditor had nothing to do with the medical benefits.
Okay.
And what I'm saying about that is number one, he is a supervisor, so he is entitled. Number two, you know, that's the way it goes. And he's listed as part-time, and at part-time 20 hours, he is entitled also. Any questions, comments? Meeting adjourned, 5:25, A-okay? Thank you very much for all coming. See you next year, maybe, if I'm still here.
You will.
What?
You will.
I don't know. It's not looking too good.
You're vertical around here, it'll be fine.
I hope you think so. I'm working 10 hours a week, and then I'm working at the kennel on the weekends. It's not fun. I'm burning the candle both ends.
That clock hasn't worked.
It's right twice a day.
Yes, I know it is. I'd like to see the doggone thing